I've reached the point in the show where I'm reading to you Ezekiel Kralen's ongoing story, or at least this part of it, of the two little dogs and the legal issues having to do with getting his rent paid and having it be registered so that he doesn't have to worry that they're going to say that he didn't pay them, and the conversation with the lawyer and so on and so forth. We're reached pretty much the end of that, but this is called My Delusions Keep Me Going. And we're up to May 21st last year. Ezekiel Kralen wrote email correspondence. Subject, it's all scripted. Date, May 21st, morning. As I've claimed many times before, Watson, what gave it away in that letter is the mention of the blood on the wall. For it is one incident I've neglected to inform my attorney about, and it's been nagging me to add this to my list of grievances already in her Zeke folder. So I was going to report this to her sometime this week with a photo, but instead the surprise letter posted to my door this morning took care of that. Seeing as Bodhisattva wizards are telepathic when need be, among their many other great talents. Now for the rest of this script, as I predict per my Bodhisattva premise, remember that a blah blah realty, along with their attorney, are in on this too, gleefully playing their snidely whiplash to my Dudley Do-Right. After all, who doesn't love to play the evil protagonist on stage? It's a cherished role actors often fight over for the honor. A class action lawsuit will ensue, with all plaintiffs awarded a payment of around $15,000 each, based on a previous suit I was part of, in which we each collected $14,000. But unlike the first case, it won't take almost 3 years to resolve, but 3 months or less. After all, a blah blah wants me to have that moolah, which I will hold on to for emergency veterinary care, though I certainly hope the need will never arise. This settlement will also grant me permission to have the pups visit whenever I'd like. In addition, dispute resolution will eventually lead to possession of Hotel California North by the residents themselves, with arrangements for yours truly to continue my low monthly rent as legitimate payment towards owning my humble unit, no hidden fees involved. Around this time, stardom shall come my way, and a nonprofit organization will be founded on my behalf in order to cover any and all expenses towards keeping me housed and fulfilling my activist goals, including my own office at the LGBT Center, where Bay Area Legal Aid also has offices. In other words, I will wind up being Magdalena's next-door neighbor workplace-wise, and the doggies will have a second home, or third if you count my sanctuary along with Deke's cabin, which doggie's master shall also benefit by the provision of a free studio apartment in my building. Now, here's a most revelatory tidbit regarding that LGBT center. On the granite wall beside the elevator on the third floor, where BALA has their offices, are names carved into it of major donors that made this center possible. One of them is Robin Kovacs, who also happens to be an incorporator and founding director of Online Policy Group, which has been hosting gratis my Gay Bible website since 1997 and the associated webmail service. I've never had the honor to meet him personally, and he's since moved to Toronto years ago, but their headquarters remain here in the city, I think. Their website, by the way, is in dire need of an update. This is no coincidence, Watson. This is a scripted scenario writ by enlightened beings, at least IMNSHO, in my not-so-humble opinion. Anyways, onward and upward with my prophetic vision, read the evolving script of This Is Your Life, Ezekiel Joseph Kralen, also known as Eugene Frank Catalano. Around this time, there will also occur the collapse of these disunited states and the establishment of new nations carved out of those states, including the secession of what's roughly defined as Northern California, to be renamed Athenia, with this gobsmacked pilgrim, its very first gay president or prime queer minister or benevolent fagtator or grand Uranian poobah or some other title in the vein of national figurehead. Needless to say, for this and countless other reasons, such as my Brindlekin Tales becoming a blockbuster success exceeding every other publication, movie, or play by an astronomically long shot, I will become the most notable and influential hominid on the entire planet, and it will stay that way for time immemorial. No flash in the pan. This borderline schizophrenic. Sidebar. Speaking of schizophrenia, I intend my next publication to be entitled How to Turn Your So-Called Mental Disability into a Cash Cow of Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious Proportion, a self-help book on steroids. Bang mark at the end of that. So there you have it, old chap, straight from the meanicorn's mouth. May all your wishes come true and your days be blessed with pterodactyl magic. Subject, Deke's visit last night, a bit rocky. Date, May 21st, evening. He came by really late this time, 11:30 p.m., and he knows very well the cutoff hour is midnight. Wanted me to change the music on his chip, which took but a few minutes, because he only wanted 2 rappers, J.I. and TJ3K. I also fed the pups, and since he did not offer them anything cushy to rest upon, but left them seated beside him on the damp, cold, filthy sidewalk, I brought down some cardboard sheets and a sleeping bag. But before I did, I admonished him for shoving Flacco off his lap. "Hey, get off of me," when she attempted to flee the concrete. "Don't treat her like that, Deke. She has nothing but love for you, and nothing but immense respect is what both dogs deserve. Shame on you." Shut up, leave me alone. I'm not in a good mood." "No excuse, Deke," I retorted. "Be kind to these angels always. Your bad moods are bogus and unforgivable. Look at that. You are sitting on a thick folded coat when it's you who should sit on the sidewalk and give them your coat. Why do you always start an argument with me?" He blasted his foul words into the ether. "Stop bothering me. Get out of my face." "No, you stop bothering me and these lovely pooches," I persisted. "You're the problem, and always have been. Sorry. Do you really want to keep playing the stupid redneck? Where is that going to get you?" Anyway, he quieted down after that, and I returned to hovel while he and Mutz sat outside beneath the super-duper awning. It was pleasingly cool last night, with a very light and sporadic drizzle. As soon as they finished fluffing up the comforter, I placed the edges over them so they could enjoy a more thorough rest in their makeshift hidey spots. But since I had to retrieve the sleeping bag when Deke decided to leave, whenever that would be, I was forced to stay up well beyond midnight. It wasn't until 1:40 a.m. that he finally decided to depart, with no concern for my need to get some shut-eye. In fact, shortly before he ended the visit, he began to blast his speakers like some outdoor concert. I waited a few minutes in hopes he wouldn't keep that up, but he did. So I stepped back inside. To be continued.